students and parents, what's on the board should look familiar to all you students. This is the same review that I gave y'all before we took our quiz today. Parents, to catch you up, I have a quiz that I'm sending home today. I need a parent signature on it, regardless of whether your student is going to redo it or not. Second to that, I am offering students the chance to get remediation points based off how many answers they're able to get correct. If your student scored a 7 out of 14, that is a 50%, so that should give you a baseline of how your student performed. The grades on this quiz were very disappointing, so I wanted to give students the chance to remediate and be able to add points onto their score. This whole review that I'm going through, I gave the students before class, as well as the opportunity to ask any questions that they might have throughout it. Students did not work on their quiz while I did this review, which is important to know. So I'm going to try to make it as close to what I did earlier as possible. So first the quiz starts off with vocabulary. Let me also say, sorry, because I'm letting students redo this and I am looking for complete answers, I'm not taking this as participation, I'm taking this as correct or incorrect. And because of that, I'm not going to say all of the answers in this. However, I should be very guiding towards what the answer is, or at least toward what the formula is. So let's get started. The first question in the student's quiz, which this is on the mid-chapter checkpoint of chapter 2. So this is lessons 2.1 to 2.3, which we had finished by today, and we also did this before the hurricane. So the first part says vocabulary. So the vocabulary that is offered is a frequency table, key, and picture graph. A frequency table looks like this. A picture graph looks like this because pictures are used. And a key looks like this. A frequency table is using tallies or numbers to record data. So this might also show like this, 15, 5. That would be a frequency table. The next part has apple and banana. This is a picture graph because it shows pictures. The pictures represent the information. And the key is here to tell us what each picture represents. So here, 1 circle equals 5, and that'd probably be like 5 students that had voted. So that is our vocabulary section. If you read through the definitions, number 2 should be pretty leading on its own toward what the answer is. I'll read it aloud to you. It says, a blank uses small pictures or symbols to show and compare information. So think, does a frequency table, key, or picture graph use pictures? The next part is concepts and skills, and that's what we do for the remainder of our quiz. It says, use the favorite season table for 3 through 6. So these questions, we're referring to the favorite season table on our paper. In order to do a math review where I'm not giving students everything, I have created the same table, but using, which one was it? Using favorite animals. So in class, this is what I said. I said, which animal got the most votes? We looked at my table. Dogs got 19, cats got 28, lions got 14, and elephants got 22. As a class, we decided that cats got the most votes. We know that cats got the most votes. I'm going to bring that a little bit closer. We know that cats got the most votes because 28 is greater than 19, it's greater than 14, and it's greater than 22. The next question that we did, which season got 3 fewer votes than winter? So here, that question was, which animal got 3 fewer votes than elephant? So you need to look at the table, find an elephant, see how many students voted for elephant, and then do subtraction. So because it says 3 fewer, I'm going to subtract 3 from the number 22 for elephant. And that leads me to dog, because 22 minus 3 is 19, and the dog had 19 votes. The next question I went over in class was, how many more students chose cats than lions? How many more students chose cats than lions? So in this question, we're comparing the number of votes for cats and lions to decide how many more voted for cats. The next question, how many students chose a favorite animal? So each student voted once. This is something we know about collecting data. Each student votes once. So I need to look at my numbers, and I'm going to put them together to decide how many total students voted. The next part is using a different graph. It says our pets. So here I did favorite color. How many students chose blue as their favorite color? Well, when I look at a picture graph, I always need to be careful to look at my key. My key down here says 0 equals 2 students. 0 equals 2 students. So this is, well, my circle, circle equals 2 students. So here I have my circles. Each circle represents 2 students. So to practice counting the numbers, I'm gonna look green. Let me decide how many is in green. I would skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, there's 8 that are green. Blue, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yellow, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, because I have half of a circle. Half of a circle equals half of 2. Half of 2 is 1. Red, 2, 4, 6. So now I have the numbers for each color in my picture graph. The question is asking how many students chose blue as their favorite color. So after I skip count, I'm able to find my answer. After that, we have number 8. 5 more students chose color yellow than which other color? So I need to decide my total number for yellow. I do that by skip counting by 2s. Then I need to subtract 5, because it says 5 more students have chose yellow than what other color? 13 minus 5. See what your answer is and figure out which color, or on your quiz, which animal has the same number that you got after you did that subtraction problem. How many students voted for their favorite color in all? In all, find the total amount of votes that happened in this chart. The last part, we have questions 10 through 14 are using the summer activity chart. So for this one, I made an after-school activity chart. I wanted to look at a chart about students' favorite after-school activity. This is what we're looking at. The first question. Some students chose their favorite after-school activity. The results are in this picture graph that I drew on the board. How many students chose reading? Notice the key says a circle equals 10. So I need to skip count by 10s to find the number. So if I'm finding the number for reading, I need to skip count by 10s. When we count by 10s, it sounds like this. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And we could go up higher. How many more students chose sports than sleeping? So I need to count up my total amount of students that chose sports and then subtract the amount of students that chose sleeping to find my answer. The next one, which activity did 15 fewer students choose than reading? So I'm going to count up my number for reading, and I'm going to subtract 15. Once I have my sum, I need to figure out which other after-school activity has the same sum. The next part, how many pictures would you draw for biking if each son equals 5 students? So on my board, that translates to how many pictures would you draw for TV if each son equals 5 students? Because I want students to do this on their own, I'm going to do an example for sleep. Right now, the value of each of these is 10. We can all agree that sleep has 3 circles. Each picture symbol is worth 10. If I make them each worth 5, I'm going to need twice the amount. So here my top row, 10, 20, 30. That's how many students want to sleep when they go home. My bottom, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The answers are the same. The amount of symbols are different. So if each symbol only represents 5, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 6 symbols to represent sleep if each symbol only stands for 5. Now, students, remember, you are not answering for sleep. You are not answering for canoeing. You need to take what I did and apply it to TV, which is on your paper as biking. Your question is about biking. And the last one, number 14, how many more students chose swimming and camping combined than biking and canoeing? So you need to combine the numbers of swimming and camping, combine those numbers here. Then combine the numbers of biking and canoeing, combine them here, and then compare the numbers and see what the difference is. So on my board, I'm adding my reading and sports together. They're coming one group. So it might look like this. Reading plus sports. And then I'm going to have a number plus a number, which is going to equal this number. And then I'm also going to have TV plus sleep. So my number for TV plus my number for sleep, and they equal this. So I'll put number, sum, number, sum. So this equals one number and this equals one number. My next step is I need to take this number here and this number here and compare them. I need to find how many more students chose these than this. That's all I have for y'all today. I am expecting to get the quizzes turned in on Friday along with the other homework. This is optional and it will only help your students' grade. Students, if you're watching, pay close attention. Take the same things that I'm doing on the board and apply them to your papers. I suggest that you work through the problems as I work through them on the board and pause when you need to. Watch the video as many times as you need. Thank you.